Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and yes, we're back on with the old C16 repair. Bit of bad news. As you can see here, I've got what I know as a working Plus4 board here, and I've taken all the major ICs off that C16 board and put them back on this board, and as you can see, when I fire it up, we're getting basically the same as we were on that C16 board. I'll switch it on. No, it's not even fired up this time. Let's try that again. No, it's now just black screening. It was, at least before, it was firing up, and it was showing that same, like that. I've got it now. Might be a slightly dodgy switch on this board. I will look into that, but it's doing basically this exactly as it was on the C16. So unfortunately, it looks like something has died on here. I'm really hoping it's just one of the ROMs that's become corrupted, or even perhaps the PLA that's become faulty. I'm hoping it's not that TED chip. Like I say, I have a very fine set of spares of them, and once they're gone, they're gone. We're going to try the ROMs from the other board, see if that makes a difference. Unfortunately, I don't think it is going to, but we'll give it a quick try. Like I said, if that doesn't work, we'll try replacing the PLA, then we'll try a different TED. Hopefully it's not going to be the TED that's bit the dust, but we will see. Let's see if I've got a board that I can just borrow the ROMs off this one. I don't think it is going to be this, unfortunately. I'll tilt you down, show you what I'm doing. I'll just try swapping one ROM at a time. In fact, what happens if you switch it on with that ROM removed? Well, with that removed, you just get a plain white screen like that. So let's put the ROM out of the other board in there, see if that makes any difference at all. I just managed to bend the leg on that getting it out. Damn. Should just be able to straighten that. It's not too bad. There we go, that's fixed. Oh, straighten it up a little bit as well. We'll stick that in there. That sticks in alright. Let's see if that's made any difference at all. Nope, so it's not that ROM. Let's try the other. I don't think it is the ROMs. I've got a horrible feeling it's that TED chip's bitten the dust, which will be a real shame, but again, I wonder what happens if you power it up with that ROM chip removed. Let's have a look. We'll possibly just get a blank screen. Right, let's put that back in. I presume this is the kernel ROM then. I think one's the kernel ROM, one's the basic ROM. Let's see. Nope. We will, as a last ditch, try the PLA, but I have a horrible feeling it is going to be the TED chip which has bitten the dust, which is going to be a massive shame. But let's get the PLA out. Someone did mention the sockets on the other board in good order, and actually, yeah, they're in fairly good condition. I don't think that's the issue. It's certainly not this additional issue that's reared its ugly head anyway. Because, like I said, it's doing the same on the. Nope, that's the PLA changed, and it's exactly the same. So I'm going to change the TED. Let's see if we've got another TED to go in there. Yes, we have here. And I also have a TED to repair, which definitely does work, but it's got a leg broken off. Let's pull this TED out. I just realised I've left the camera on the monitor. Sorry about that. Let me just tilt you down. There we go. Well, I've got the TED out. I'll put the replacement TED in. That way around. Let's see if that's going to make any difference. That's not so. Try that again. And that one we're getting nothing. Let's hope that's not a dead end. Now all the TEDs in this box have been tested at least one point, so they should work. Ah, there we go, it was just playing up. So unfortunately, that sort of confirms it that TED there has unfortunately died. I won't throw it away, seeing it does semi-work. I will keep it as a test TED. I wrote on it iffy. I'll put that in there so I don't get it mixed up with the other TEDs I've got, but unfortunately that means we're another TED down, and that's the problem with these. I mean, to diagnose faults on these computers you do have to generally be plugging in and unplugging ICs, and sometimes they don't like it. I mean, obviously I do use static precautions. I am very cautious with my ICs, and they're kept in static safe environment, but sometimes they just die. And that's one of the big problems with these, like I said, because them are just not available. You can't get replacements for them. Even the CPU, like I said, is very hard to get. At least there is some ways around that now. But with your TED, when your TED's gone, most times these computers are pretty much irreparable, unfortunately. Anyway, so at least we've now got that working again, but we haven't seemed to have solved the fault on let's get that out. In fact, let's put that in static bag, keep it safe. Just switch the monitor off for the time being to stop it humming. Let's put this away in an anti-static bag. This is generally what I do with all my boards when I'm not actually working on them. There we go. Bring in the board we've been working on. So, as I said on the last video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try taking off that 74 LS257 there, the 74 LS257 there, and we'll test them on the Speedmaster and see how they come up on that. So it could be a fault with one of them, which is causing this this not starting issue. I have checked resistance on the switch on this one, and it's absolutely fine, the switch, so I don't think it's the switch that's causing the issue. To be honest, I'm sort of running out of ideas apart from possibly being something in this area here. Because we've checked voltages are alright. We know, well, we know now that we've got a good set of ICs. Even so, even before, it should have been firing up with the faulty TED in it. It should have been firing up to that fault condition every time, and it wasn't. It was very erratic on it starting up. So yeah, let's get these 74 LS 257s off. I've found at least one. I have not tested it yet, but I found at least one in my spares box. Hopefully I've got some more. I've got loads and loads. I've got more 157s than I'll probably ever use, but 257s seem to be a little bit short on the ground. I might have to bite the bullet and actually order some. Right, let's see if we can get this IC out. We're going to try and get it out without damaging it, because we do want to just test these. We don't want to. Otherwise, we'd just snip through the legs and then pull the pins out. But I don't really want to go down that approach. I'd rather take them out, be able to test them, and then if they're still good, socketing them up and put them back in. You don't see the need to needlessly put new chips in. They don't fail that often. It's not like the capacitors. Just adding a little fresh solder to help us along our way, seeing we know how problematic this board is to work on. Right, let's have a go. That's come clean. That's better. Oops, didn't quite get that one then. Try again. Again, this is one that's on the plus 5 volts line, and although it's not as bad as some of them other ground placement traces, it's still quite large. I think we got it that time. Got another one here as well that's exactly the same. Just need to give it a little bit more heat. I've got that one. Try that one again. Okay, let's have a look at that now. A couple of them I just want to go over again. That one there is not. Ah, got it, I think. Let's have a look from the other side. That's looking pretty good. Let's just give it a quick try with the hook. It's not quite there yet. You never want to rush taking these ICs off. Get my little special tool if I can find it. There it is. And with this we can just clip onto the legs and give them a little wiggle. Just make sure that they're free. It also helps to straighten any legs which are a little bit on the bent side, which also helps them come out the holes are obviously a little bit easier. Let's give that a try now. Nope, that's going to need a little bit more sucking, I think. Try that. See, it seems free from that side. What I can just do is just get hold of it like this and give that a little. That can sometimes just help just break it out, break it free. Let's try that again now. In fact, I'll go over that a couple more times, I think, because it is being a little bit on the stubborn side. In fact, I'll be right back once I've got this and the other one out and we can get to testing them. So back in a sec. Okay, I'm back, and well, I've finally got that one IC out, as you can see. It was where are we now? It was there. It's all nice and clean. I've done absolutely no damage to the board. Unfortunately, the IC, I can't say the same for. Can you see that there? It broke apart. I was being a little bit on the heavy-handed side with it, I must admit, and it did just crack apart. So whether that was the fault or not, we definitely need to put a replacement in there. But first we need a socket to go in there, and that's where the next problem lies, because I've just searched my entire stock of sockets and they ain't got any, and I haven't got anything I can make it up out of either. I don't really want to fit a couple of strips of turn pin in there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this video for here, and I will reconvene as soon as I've got some IC sockets to go in there. So like I said, I don't want to rush it and just stick a couple of strips of turn pin in there, because I'd have to do the same for that oops, wrong way. I'd have to do the same for that IC and that IC as well, and I don't want to really do that. I'd rather put proper in fact, I think I might have a socket for that one, but I definitely don't have one for them two. They're slightly larger, and I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to start messing about chopping sockets up, not for these type of sockets. So I'll order some, and I'll come back to this as soon as I've got some new sockets, and we'll put some in there. And in the meantime, I will get them other ICs out. I'll think about perhaps another way of getting them out, because that was an absolute pain in the backside to do. These boards are not fun to work on. Like I said, I certainly would not recommend these for a beginner. It's not that the computers are complex, the computers are incredibly simple. It's the fact that these boards are a mare to work on. Most of the pins come out fairly easily, but anywhere where you've got one of these ground planes, you do seem to really struggle to actually get the solder to flow. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope you enjoyed that little upgrade. At least we've unfortunately found what the problem was following, and we do have another sadly a dead TED chip, but at least we do have, like I said, that test Plus4 board powering up again with all the rest of the chips in it, so they're proven. So once we've removed these and we've ascertained whether that's the issue on here or not, we can at least populate this board back up, and with any luck finally get this board into a state where we can do some proper testing on it and load some software on it. So like I said, I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope you enjoyed that little update. So thanks for watching and goodbye.